Okay, so you've definitely been here. You need a haircut, maybe a mechanic, or you're trying to find a new spot for date night. You pull out your phone and boom, you're staring at a wall of choices. So how do we possibly decide? Well, we dive into the reviews. But think about it. Between the star ratings, the slick photos, and the super long stories, what is it that actually pushes our finger to hit that book now button? Well, it turns out there's a code to it, and we're about to crack it.
Just picture this. You're on the hunt for a new hair salon. You're scrolling and you narrow it down to 3 places. One has a killer 4.8-star rating. The next one, it's got these amazing before and after photos. And the third one has this incredibly personal, detailed review from someone who's clearly over the moon. You're just sitting there, trying to weigh it all, feeling that familiar sense of, well, decision paralysis. What's the right move?
So, what really tips the scales? Is it the cold, hard data of a star rating? The emotional connection you get from a personal story? Or is it that visual proof from a great photo? This is the exact question we're digging into, because it turns out there is a real science to our scrolling. And to really get to the bottom of this, we're not just going with a gut feeling. Oh no. We're turning to some incredible academic research that has meticulously broken down this very modern problem. Our source material for this is a fantastic PhD dissertation from a researcher named Han Ki-hoon. And he zeroed in specifically on the beauty industry, investigating how online reviews influence not just our satisfaction, but our actual decision to book an appointment. And get this, he didn't just count up the stars or read the comments. No, he used a classic, powerful psychological framework to actually map out our entire decision-making journey, from the second we see a review to the moment we click confirm. That framework is called the Stimulus-Organism-Response Theory. Yeah, I know, it's a mouthful, so let's just call it SOR. The idea is actually super simple, but really powerful. Basically, some external stimulus, like an online review, triggers an internal feeling inside the organism, that's you, which then leads to a response, like, say, booking that haircut. So you can just think of it as a simple flow. You see the review, that's your stimulus. Then you feel satisfied or confident about the place. That's the internal feeling. And finally, you do something. You book that appointment. That's the response. See, feel, do. Simple, right? So now that we've got the framework down, let's get to the really good stuff. What did the research actually find when they tested this with real people? Let's take a look at the data. So this study surveyed 332 people who had recently used online reviews to pick a hair salon. This isn't just theory, this is based on what people are actually doing out there in the real world. And the first major takeaway, it turns out that all types of reviews work. Yep, whether it's the written text, the star ratings, or the photos, the study confirmed that every single one of them has a positive impact on how satisfied a customer feels and how likely they are to actually book. Okay, so they all help. But are they all created equal? I mean, which type of review is the most effective at turning that nice, satisfied feeling into an actual appointment? This, right here, is where it gets really interesting. And boom, this chart gives us the answer. The study measured how well each review type converts that feeling of satisfaction into a booking. And look at that, the star rating comes out on top. But just barely. So why? Well, it's probably all about cognitive ease. Our brains love a shortcut, and a star rating is the fastest possible way to make a judgment. It's the most efficient trigger, followed very closely by text reviews and then photo reviews. That simple little star is our quickest path from just browsing to actually booking. So, we've got the science and we've got the data. But what does this all mean in the real world? Like, how can a business actually use this information to get more customers walking through the door? For pretty much any service business, this research is basically a treasure map. It's not just about, hey, get more reviews. It's about understanding which reviews matter the most and how to encourage the right kind of feedback. The study suggests a whole strategy. First off, you've got to prioritize getting those star ratings. They're the fastest shortcut to building trust. Second, you want to encourage detailed text reviews because that's what builds a deeper, more emotional connection. Third, just make it ridiculously easy for people to leave feedback in the first place. Fourth, you gotta showcase high-quality photos because they are that crucial visual proof. And finally, use all of that feedback to really understand what your customers want. It's a whole feedback loop. But hang on, there's one more layer to this whole thing. The story behind the data is honestly just as compelling as the findings themselves. Because for the author, this wasn't just some academic project. It was deeply, deeply personal. You see, the author, Han Ki-hoon, wasn't your typical PhD student. After a long career in banking, he decided to start his doctorate at the age of 62. And his motivation? Well, it went way beyond just academic curiosity. In the acknowledgments of his dissertation, which he finished at age 67, he wrote that he hoped it would be a gift for my grandson to be placed on his desk before he starts elementary school. He poured years of study into this to create a testament to lifelong learning for his grandson. It just totally reframes this whole thing from a business analysis into this beautiful family legacy.
So this all brings it right back to us, doesn't it? We now know that a simple star rating can be a huge boost for a small business. A detailed comment can offer them incredible insight, and a photo can provide that final little nudge of proof someone needs. Knowing that, the next time you leave a review, what kind of impact are you going to choose to make?